What's up, everybody? Anthony here, specialtymotorcars.net. Behind me, you will see a big bus, a big bus. My daughter used to call these buses when I had them when she was younger. But this here is a 2004 Chevy Express Hightop Conversion van. This is a 1500 rear-wheel drive model, which is 76,000 miles. Super excited to bring it to you. I'm gonna do a full walk around here in this video, tell you all about it, inside, outside, all that good stuff. Let's get into it. And here she is, a beautiful silver bus, as my daughter used to call his daddy's bus. Back when she was born, every year I'd buy one of these things and would take it on our family vacation down to Florida, take it to Hershey. And every year, except for last year, I've had one of these high-top conversion vans to do that. And this year, this was going to be that van. And actually, I did use it for one of those trips. We took it to Hershey back in October. Me and the boys took this down. I've put 1,200 miles on this van. It's a 2004 model year. It is a Chevy Express 1500 rear-wheel drive. This is a Cobra model by Centurion, the same company who does the truck upfittings like the F-150s and F-250s and maybe Chevys, I don't know. But this is a high-top dual barn side door conversion van. Every one I've had has been like that, with the dual barn side doors on each side, and that is the only way I would love to have one, unless you got a 3/4 ton, which I know don't come that way. But otherwise, this is very versatile this way with the doors on both sides. You don't really realize it until you have young kids and stuff and whatnot in the back. So I've been blessed to have all dual barn door vans. So the thing is, where should I go with this? So we used this van to go down to Hershey. Took the boys down there, like I said, and typically I'd keep this through February vacation and take it down to Florida, but I just spoiled myself, quote unquote, with a new replacement for Trusty Rusty. And I've had Trusty Rusty since I've had my daughter. Let's see if I can block some of the sun. Probably not. And I have had that, and it's been a great vehicle, but it's not really a very trustworthy vehicle, even though the name is Trusty Rusty. Hasn't been the most trustworthy vehicle that I'd faithfully load up my daughter and family and drive down to Florida. And it's, at this point in its life, it's more of a local vehicle. Winter beater, we'll say beater with a heater. So I always buy these express vans because these are the next best thing to travel in. And well, I had just bought myself a replacement Trusty Rusty, a later model Escalade ESV. So we're going to be taking that down to Florida this year. So I don't need to keep this van around for that. I don't need two vehicles to serve the same purpose, and I don't need to keep this until February. So we did take it on that road trip down to PA. It was back in beginning of October, and we've put 1,200 miles on this van. It's been a great vehicle. I haven't done really anything other than I did replacement headlights. These things, the headlights get super foggy in absolutely no time, and a fresh set of headlights makes all the difference with these. So I am going to be cutting this one loose shortly. So I'm going to be cutting this one loose before the Florida trip. The Florida trip isn't even planned yet, but I know we're going to be going, and there's no need for me to keep this and the Escalade around, because the Escalade is going to be with me for quite some time. All right, now we're going to go around. We're going to do some finger pointing. I'm going to show you a few little marks and abrasions and dings. This one isn't perfect. This is a really nice, presentable van. I've had some that have been perfect. And those were $30,000 vans, and this one is not even going to be anywhere near that. And that's what's tough with these vans, because as they age and they get miles on them, I mean, they're bought and used for families who are traveling. They get dinged and scratched, and the interiors get totally mutilated. This one's kind of an oddball because it's got some, good low miles on it, 76,000, but it hasn't been used by families. The first couple that owned this bought it out of Florida, and they traveled back and forth from Staten Island to Florida, where they bought this van from. So it was all highway miles with them. And then the second owner was somebody in Staten Island, an older person as well, So it really never had kids in the back, which is hard to find as well. So it's kind of a good van in many ways. It's got low miles. It's already got a few dings and scratches. It's going to be priced really right. And, you know, you're not going to be spending 20, 30 grand on one of these because they're insane used, believe me. All right, so let's get into it. Enough of the jibber jabber about vans and values. So this is, like I said, a Cobra by Centurion. First one that I had like this. Honestly, I didn't even know Centurion did conversion vans, you know, in this era. But you know what? Hey, it's the same idea, high top and whatnot. Same Chevy platform that I love. This one, though, is different because all the Explorer vans I had all body side cladding down the side, plastic bumper covers on both front and rear. And they've always felt a little bit more fragile with all that cladding on it. This one I actually kind of like because it doesn't have all that stuff. But to each his own. So you got the steel front bumper here. You got a ding in the front bumper right in the kind of off the center right there, you can see. But the rest of the bumper looks pretty good. Black textured plastic in good shape. Like I said, I did just put these headlights in. Bright work on the grill is good. We got some wax buildup here. Some chips and stuff throughout. You can see a chip in the hood there, one there. There is a scratch you can see right there on the hood. Front leading edge of the hood, you can see the pinstripe. Now that's what is down all sides of this van. It's just kind of a pinstripe. Some, you know, spots of chipping there on the stripe. You know, if it was me, I'd probably lose the stripe. That, you know, I was going to keep this thing long term. You got some chipping of paint on this top edge of this fender here. Now throughout this van, there's, you know, like a lot of just little things. Like you can see where the plastic has rubbed the paint here, and you got a little spot of surface rust. The wheels are GM wheels off of like a Silverado, probably same era Silverado, but they show corrosion on the edges and whatnot. Typically when I get these vans, I always do wheel upgrades, and I do a takeoff set of wheels. Last one I did, actually the one before that, I put another set of wheels on to a bigger size wheel. These are, what are these, 16-inch, although with those bigger sidewalls, obviously they ride better. I don't know if this is like the trim package for Centurion LX. Windshield is in good shape, no chips or cracks or anything like that. But you can see up on the top here, it looks like somebody used some type of silicone in here all the way across the center. I don't know if they had a windshield water leak at some point. I haven't noticed any water leakage in my time of having it, but it's only been 2 months. But this, I believe, is a replacement windshield. It's not an original GM windshield, so they might have done that in the first windshield and then ended up having a new windshield just put in. I'm not sure. The mirrors are in good shape. It's got the little cone style mirrors as well. High top is in good shape. You know, you get some staining or whatever and some paint spots. Got a chip right there. And again, some of the pinstripe wearing. But that's basically all it is the pinstripe down the side. It's a little more simpler where this is all one color. I don't know if you guys remember back a couple years ago, I had a two-tone one that was a fade, pearl white fading into a beige. That was a beautiful van, but I was so petrified of anybody dinging it when we took it to Disney, because I know if I had to do any paint work on that thing, like, you'd never be able to match it. Same thing with here. You can see some chipping on the pinstripe as well. You know, again, that's throughout, just random spots. Some chipping in the paint there. All right, glass is all pretty good. You can see some etching in the glass from like hard water spots. Got the side window here with a little vent window. Cobra by Centurion. All the graphics going down the side is basically just a decal kit. Some spots there with some chipping. I'm doing this a little differently. I'm going back and forth to kind of try to get everything on the sides of the van. Little spots there. Whoa, I'll come down here. Pretty nice on the passenger door. Looks like maybe a little scratch right there. Maybe a little dent right there. You know, just various. Actually, that might be wax. Yep. You get a scratch there. You know, very faint little guys throughout. Little thing there. Scratches. And then the running boards. Both sides have the same style running boards. You can actually still buy these running boards brand new. There's a company that makes all this stuff for all these conversion van companies. And I did price out a brand new set of these identical running boards. They also come with the back piece here. I want to say they were about $1,000 for both sides. But you know what? It's a fiberglass shell under what looks to be like a steel, you know, bracing. That's what actually gives you, you know, the strength. It's merely cosmetic at this point because I had all my big friends, adult friends coming to Hershey, and we were using the running boards in and out, and nobody had any issues. There was no cracking, you know, or you know, feeling like they were going to fall off. They're on there. They're just, you know, you can see some stress cracking, obviously from hitting curbs or something like that, or rubbing up against something low. You can see the gaskets here for these little indicator lights or courtesy lights have kind of disintegrated. You know, I just got to put a value on this stuff to what's worth fixing and what's not worth fixing. And really, just to keep this a price point van, to me, that's not worth fixing. Especially since the running boards still operate perfectly. Again, you can see a few little light scratches throughout here. Nothing too crazy. Inside the wheel well. Got some mud flaps on the back. Again, a little bit of corrosion going on the face of this wheel, some on the edge. It's a match set of hand-cooked Dynapros. These are, got a severe snow rating, but date-coded from 2017. And I have the slip, you know, the service log I have for this van inside. Those were put on in 2018. Come up over the high top again here. You can see some weird, like, fading and maybe delamination in the tail lights. Again, just all random little scratches, you know, throughout, little scuffs and whatnot. You know, if you really get up, you can kind of see a little bit of light scratching. One right there. Let's see, one over the dealer emblem there. Rear bumper, got a dent here, and then there was a ding over here. Does have a trailer hitch on it. I didn't use it. Got some surface rust, and you can see the plug here for the 7-way outlet is, like, the lid is broken off. I honestly don't know if it works. Never tried it. Never had to tow with it. I don't think this is a really great tow vehicle to do anything towing heavy. It's a 1500 platform. You know, 3/4 ton would be different. Again, you can see some fading in the tail lights here. These, like I said, I think when I priced out these running boards, they also came with these little quarter pieces, you know, for that ground effects kit. You can see some kind of like weird crazing going on in the Cobra emblem. A few spots where the vinyl is missing. Do the same thing we did on the other side. Go down the top here. And you can see some spots where it's just a little weathered. And the pinstripe. It's like a little stain there for maybe bird droppings. You know, the glass is nice. Mirrors good. 24-hour roadside Chevrolet assistance. Some staining in the paint there. Staten Island resident sticker. Yep, that's where this one came from. It came from Staten Island. I actually bought this van from Carvana. It was sold to them, and I had bought it from them because our trip was coming up and I needed a van. This wheel's in nicer shape than the other ones here. You can see minimal corrosion on here, but nice, again, Dynapro tires. Great tread on them, chunky tread. And these are severe weather rated. They're not snow tires, but they can handle, obviously, snowy terrains. You see some chips in the what you call stripes on these doors. Some dings, dents, scrape and a dent there. Again, just some light stuff. A crack in that running board here and here. And again, same thing on the other side. The lights have fallen into their little holes, but they both still work, or they all still work, I should say. None of the hinges are seized. Common thing with these GM vans, if these doors aren't used, they get kind of seizy, like the hinges seize up. All the doors work perfectly. I'll open those up in a little bit when we get inside the van. But all in all, not a bad van. Again, not perfect, but it's going to be priced accordingly. It's going to be actually priced very aggressively. That's why I think this one will sell fast. All right, let me get into the inside of the van, then we'll take it for a spin. All right, now let's get on to the inside of this big, juicy van. Interesting trades not considered. I don't know if you guys get that Seinfeld connection there. So this van, I see this tag here, Maroon Collision, Pembroke Pines. That's where this van was bought new out of. Was Maroon, maybe Chevy, I guess, out of Pembroke Pines, Florida. The original owners who had this van. I think if I remember right, they had it up until 2014. And then from 14 until now, for the last 10 years, the second owner had it in Staten Island. And that person, I want to say, only put like 10,000 miles on it in 10 years. So obviously it was probably used just for local driving. But that's, you know, it's weird what some of these vans are used for. But you can tell, you know, they were meant for large families, but I don't think this one was ever used for that. It does show some wear on the side bolster of the seat here. You can see some cracking in the vinyl side. And then right here, it looks like this, you know, the foam might be compressed down or whatever, collapsed, I should say. But it is a suede and leather combo. Super plush seats, super comfy. We got the armrests with the suede as well, which is pretty sweet. Real cool, kind of like a crushed velour looking headliner in this thing. Reminds me of my 81 Cadillac Fleetwood coupe with the crushed velour interior. Door panels are in pretty good shape. Inside, nice and clean there. All the jams. I don't know what this big booger is. I don't know. Oh, you know what? That looks like it was the rubber from there that somehow got boogered and stuck there. Huh. Don't know. Detailed by Elite. Oh, that's cool. You got a little punch card there. Actually, yeah, look at this. There's another one. It's like the glue or something. Man, that is on there. That is the little rubber for there. Huh. Never noticed that. All these wood trim pieces are all aftermarket wood trim pieces. Very common for these to start to show some age and delamination. You have 2 power front windows. These windows, all with these plugs, are pop out, and then you have the vent window there as well. Even I think the rear, probably lighted vanity mirrors. Not lighted, it's just regular vanity mirrors. Sorry. Dash is in good shape. This guy is kind of just chilling out here. This is a receiver for XM radio. See mileage at 76,817 miles. All your headlight switches. I think this is like your dimmer switch or whatever for like the interior lights. You can see a crack down there on the wood bezel. It's actually just plastic that might be like, I forget what they call it, hydro dipped, I think, when they do that in the wood. Typical all GM layout on the front here, you know, climate control, radio, auxiliary, trailer tow button, stuff like that. Now, this stuff is all added, these little reading lights. Cup holders, you got plenty of those. You got plenty of little storage nooks. We'll get more into that in just a minute. Carpeting, pretty nice up here. You got some light staining, but nothing too crazy. And these are power seats. You can see the switch here on the front. Forward and back, and then tilting both ways. Again, these side doors, dual barn doors on this thing. You don't know how much of a game changer this is. I would think until you don't have one. I've only had them with them, but being on the forums and stuff, I see a lot of people envy of the people who have the dual side doors. Now, when my daughter was younger, would situate her in a car seat here, and for everybody to get in and out, they could get in and out any side. It wasn't tough for us to get her in a car seat. We could get in while other people got in, get her in. It was just really nice and easy. And these chairs are all quick lever releases. You can take the buckles out as well and actually remove these seats very, very easy. One swivel lever here and one unbuckle, the seat comes out. So you can have this as all open space if you wanted to go camping or off-roading, which is pretty neat. It's got all the shades, and they're all in great shape. Again, when these are family vans with tons of little kids getting in them, these things are always destroyed. Again, you can see that this thing is not all beat up in the back by kids, ripping these things up and down. Even when my daughter gets in it, I'm like, don't touch the blinds. It looks like little fold-out cup holders here. This one looks like a little bit, oh yeah, she's a little bit broken. It's kind of a weird fold in the door situation. Put a little washer or something on there. I'm not sure what this guy is for. A little storage pocket there. This is all the books and manuals and service records. I'll show you that in a little bit. Some light staining on the carpets. Some random spots. You got one spot over there. I'll show you when we get on the other side. All the seat back pockets here. Again, a nice suede. Nice leather. Dual flip down armrests. Adjustable rear headrest as well. Makes these seats real comfortable. I think the rear is more comfortable for riding than, driving in these things. I mean, the fronts are super comfortable. I've never been a long-term passenger in the back. It's always been my family. But if I was going to go on a road trip, my preference would be there because tons of leg room too. Now, this is a little different. This is not different. I'll show you. The bed is different. These always on these GM vans fold wide open. Great for tailgating. What is different now, it does have a locking spot there, so you can open them to like a 90-degree angle. What I was going to say was different is this sofa bed in the back. Now, this is a foldable sofa bed. And a public service announcement for those who do spring or winter, summer tires. Don't ever put tires on top of vinyl or leather, because this is exactly what happens. The black etches in there. You can see Continental name. So someone put a tire on here and the black bled into the vinyl. That does not come off. You have to dye it or something to get that to go away. We have a sofa safety lock system, which locks it, but you can do forward. I think it is already forward. Yeah. Back. Forward, that's kind of reversed, I think. Sofa down, folds down. Obviously, you got to pull these headrests out, which just pull straight out. But this will lie down as a full flat sofa. But sofa up. What's different about this over my Explorer vans that I've always had was I've never had this. And this is really cool because I didn't really value this until I saw it. Kids soccer games, you can put some kids sitting up there hanging out in the back of the van, or if you're traveling and you want to stack stuff below and then stack stuff above, you can do that as well. And all my Explorer vans, none of them had this nifty kind of coat rack wooden thing here, but this thing also just flips straight up and in, so you're clear there. Got some little pockets back here, and again, all this suede material throughout the whole back of the van. Rear shades, again, all in great shape, not beat up. Even the door panels, usually the door panels are pretty beat up on these. This one's in pretty good shape. First one I've ever had that had factory defrosted rear windows, which I thought was pretty cool. Inside here, more than likely, is probably, jack, lug wrench, some zip ties and whatnot. What did I, oh. There we go. We got a little storage tray in there. I don't even know what's in there. There might be something in there. Power door locks. Little cubbies. Cubbies galore. And my footprint. All right, coming up here, open this up. Again, nice wide opening doors on both sides. All the wood, this is all real wood. This cup holder like the other side. It's the first time I've ever actually opened these. Little fold out guy there. This one is not cracked or damaged. All the trays. Again, all the shades are in great shape. No broken strings or anything like that. And then these are all flip out vent windows. All inside the sill plates nice and clean. Again, you got dual flip down armrests for the captains. And then what's also good about these is they got child seat anchors somewhere in there. I'm sure if I'm touching around. Oh yeah, right there. Little clip-in things. Never realized how important those were until I had a daughter in a car seat. Never, it was like zero, didn't even dawn on me. Got some staining, like a half moon style stain. I don't know what was going on back here, but this is all, you know, factory formatting, even though it looks like house carpet, which I think it really is. All the floor mats and everything are matching. The front two, this one, and then you got one back there as well. Oh, before I forget, you can see this. Yeah, let me get in the van. Oh, big juicy van. And this is the great thing about these vans is I'm almost standing up. But whenever we were traveling to Florida in these things, you know, my kid's sitting here, my wife's sitting here or in the back or whatever, you know, baby's got to do a diaper change. It was fantastic because my wife could do her thing, or my mother would help, or whoever would do their thing, or they'd change seats, and you could do it while the vehicle is in motion. And maybe that's illegal to do, but you know what? It was great to travel that way. Looks like we have a plug here, Game Master. I don't know what that is. TV, radio for the headphones. Got some headphone hangers. What is this? It looks like a flashlight of some sort. It's a weird flashlight. We'll put it back in there. And all the side vents. Then you got these little pop-out windows here. Ashtrays for the kids, of course. Little spot there. But this is all, I believe this is all real wood. It's a rear DVD player, Fahrenheit DVD player. But you can tell no kids have been back here because this is just nice. It's not all mussed up. Again, you get the little vents here. Big cup holders, ashtrays for the kiddos. More jacks. All nice ambient lighting. And then all inside these boxes are all great spots for storage. I mean, it's throughout the whole entire van. You have all your air ducts for your heating and air conditioning. Plenty of ambient overhead lighting. All deep well storage. And the back seat here is in great shape. And again, this folds down to a full sofa bed. And even, well, that's cool. My last van didn't have that. You got a center console. I mean, so you can really travel with this thing and keep the kids occupied. Everybody's got their own space. Nobody's getting upset. Ooh, what's this thing down here? Oops. What is this? Oh, it's supposed to, oh, it's for fuses. Yeah, I didn't break it. That's that's not supposed to open easily for kids. But oh, I was pointing out this seat over here. You can see right on the side here. It's got a tear in it. It looks like something kind of ripped right through it there. Didn't do anything to try to fix it. I mean, you could try to maybe glue it down or have an upholstery shop try to maybe replace the vinyl here. Again, for what I do with these vans, I wasn't going to go crazy there. All lighted storage, pretty neat. Got a VCR in there. Old school TV. Obviously, the audio visual stuff in this van is dated, you know, from '04. But TV powers on. Probably real easy to swap that out for a DVD player. Well, maybe put a gaming console in there if you want. But again, we didn't take this on a trip with kids, so didn't even turn the TV on. That's the first time I've actually turned that TV on. All right. Yeah, see these little, well, actually, This one did the same thing. I don't know why that would do that. But this one is still there. It's holding on, but it's still there. Little bump stops. I don't know why that would do that. All inside the well here. This is the RPO code for the all the trim and whatnot. The wood here. This one's in pretty decent shape. A few little spots in the corner there. Nice deep pockets with tons of storage. Storage on top of the dashboard. Passenger side airbag. Again, more storage. You can see some chipping on the wrap up there, up on the top edge here. Again, very cool suede kind of crushed velour looking headliner in these guys. This thing looks a little loosey-goosey, and it is supposed to be lighted, but is not. This seat, I believe this one was power as well. Yep, in the front here. Power, tilt, both ways, and then you got the armrest. And leather's in pretty good shape on this one. Even more storage. I always use this as like a litter bin for trash, but you got plenty of storage. 2 plugs in the front here, both sides, a little light. This guy was in here when I got it, and it stays with it for good luck for whatever travels you take this van on. We'll show you that in just a minute. All right, so usually I'm sitting in the van when I like to show you what I got for keys and books. This time I'm standing outside because I have so much to show you and not a bench seat to show you on. We have 2 sets of original keys here, the fobs, 2 keys, and then 2, actually I think there's a 3rd one up there, but this is a locking fuel door, or a fuel cap, I should say. We put those in the ignition. Let me switch hands here. I think I already showed you the mileage. 76,817. You can see the oil pressure backlighting is burned out. All the other gauges light up perfectly. I mean, you can still see it at night, but obviously it's a little dimmer at night than, you know, it is during the day. So what I got for stuff is tons of stuff. I have, the magnets or something, I don't know what those were. Tons of service records, you know, throughout the van's life. You know, probably inspection reports, all tire, you know, tons and tons of stuff for this van. Dealer service, independent service, hold on, documented, it's good to have. Let's see what else we got here. Come on. Replace 2 bulbs and the 3rd brake light. I mean, just slips for everything. New York inspections, some books, TV owner's manual, VCR owner's manual, VCR, New York inspection, some looks like maybe old registrations. Those probably aren't as important. Carmen, that is not with the van anymore. I don't know what this is. Island. Staten Island. New York something. Lease agreement. Don't know what that's all about. Another Garmin. I don't have to go through all this little stuff. These are all gas receipts. Staten Island resident stickers. Some map books for all you anti-GPS people out there. Some other stuff. What's this for? This is for the rear DVD. Mobile video system. What's this? Oh, preferred suede cleaning. This is for the suede material. No, geez, they kept everything with this van. Sofa positioning. This is the original GM build sheet. This is actually pretty cool to have. Not a window sticker, but a build sheet. This breaks down all those RPO codes. Now, this is usually sold as like an incomplete chassis, and they're, you know, meant to be upfitted vans. So it's probably like base cargo van-ish type stuff, but they have passenger seats, mats, rear, I don't know. So Wentzville assembly, summary build document. 5137, I believe. That's the VIN number for this thing. Let me see here. 5137. Yep, 5137. So that is the original build sheet for this van. Geez, I love when people keep all this stuff. Pro Air owner's manual. This is for the rear air conditioning system. Audio Vox. You know, just all stuff for this van that they kept. And then you got the original GM owner's manual all inside this pouch, along with some headphones and some license plate screws and inserts. All types of little things there. All right, let me just show you under the hood here, and then we will jump in and take her for a spin as well. Let me prop this up. All right, under the hood, the engine is back there. It's kind of tucked up under the doghouse, but all your fluids are accessible here. You have your coolant, you can see on the side there. Oil, transmission, that's an oil filler. This is oil. Check it. You have your battery down here, side post GM. AC recharge area. You have power steering, brake fluid, washer fluid. I don't know why they have this unplugged. This is for the under the hood light. And see, I don't know, it's supposed to be plugged in, but I don't know if it draws or stays on. Actually, upon further investigation, you can kind of see in here, this is all jammed up. That's probably why it's not plugged in. All right, before we hit the road in this high-top van, I do want to show you the bottom side of it and show you what she looks like under here. You can see pretty decent for a New York van. Looks like all the rockers and floors are in pretty good shape. You can see surface rust on the frame, but not horribly rusty under here, like you'd expect for a, you know, rust belt, I guess you'd say, van. Under the back here, you see the spare tire, hitch and everything inside the quarters look pretty good from here. Go down the passenger side, same thing. All right, now let's take her out for a spin. Climb aboard. Whew, nice, comfy, cozy. You got that seat in that right position. You flip those armrests down. This is a great highway cruiser. You know, I said earlier, oh, I must have left the lights on. I said earlier how it's comfortable in the back, but it is very comfortable to drive in the front. I've taken these to Florida, like I said, and actually a couple times I've done straight shots back, you know, behind the driver's seat. As far as getting fatigued, I've taken some other vehicles to Florida. We took a limo once. We took my wife's SUV once. These things are just much comfier. You know, you plush, kick off your shoes if you want. You can just cruise right along, set the cruise control, and go. All right. Now, when I got this van, I did a quick safety check on the van. Like I said, we replaced the headlights, but I haven't done any service work to it. The tires were, you know, in good shape. Brakes had plenty of pad life left. And the thing with this van is, well, I'm losing my train of thought here. Oh, watch out, guy or girl in their Mustang. Not even going fast and still almost wiping me out. The thing with these vans is, you know, the base Chevy Express is super inexpensive to own, maintain, and work on. I mean, you can get parts for these things so inexpensively. But I just did a quick, you know, shakedown, make sure like nothing was going to fall off of this thing when we took it. Excuse me. I did notice that there was a little bit of play, I believe, on that side outer tie rod. I might have my sides mixed up when I had it on the lift, but otherwise not bad. There was a little bit of pitting on the brake rotors before I drove it all those miles, but now that it's since cleared up, there's no pulsations or anything like that. But I didn't even do an oil change. The oil change was just recently done. just prior to me getting the van, so I didn't even do an oil change or service or it. Again, I just did a quick safety check on it. Two other things that I do remember is the bump stops on the rear axle. Very common. They're like a little foam bump stop, so like if you bottom out the axles on these things, that they'll, you know, prevent it from hitting the frame, you know, if you get too much weight in the back or whatever. On all my vans, I've seen those things come apart. It's a real common thing, I think, with these Chevys. I'm not saying that's, you know, the van doesn't need anything else, but just things that I've seen. But we did 1,200 miles on this thing, and it performed flawlessly. Cold air. Another thing that I noticed is, you know, the radio works. Couple of the speakers, or maybe they might be tweeters somewhere, seem a little wonky. I don't even know. Oh, the speakers, there are no tweeters. I think on one of my vans they had tweeters up here, but you can kind of hear a little bit of, you know, maybe like a one blown speaker, I think maybe on one of the fronts here. Probably original Delco speakers, so I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, those could be upgraded. I don't know what it's like in the back. How do I shut all these lights off? Got reading, valance, mood, and TV speaker on that. Read up there, you can see a little crack in the wood there. Shuts all those lights off in the back. So anyways, this is the van. It's a great van. Cruise works. Van runs and drives. No check engine lights, no trouble lights, no issues. 1,200 miles under its belt with me as the driver. It was fantastic. I am saying this is one of my yard sale units because, like I said, I haven't gone through it. Typically, when I take these to Florida with my family and we're putting, you know, many thousands of miles far, far from home, I really go through these things above, below, from front to back. But because we're not taking that trip, I'm not even going to bother. And that's why I'm selling this van at a really, you know, aggressive price, because I bought my new Escalade. So any questions about this van, my name is Anthony. 978-930-1004 is my number. You can go over to my website, specialtymotorcars.net, for all these still pictures of this van. There's probably going to be plenty of them on there. Actually, I don't know why I'm in this turn lane, because I should just keep going straight, but there's a car coming. And you know what? We're going to go now. All right. Don't let distance stop you from getting a dream van in your driveway. I have shipped, these are a little bit more difficult to ship, especially a far distance with a high top, if it's going to go on a car carrier. The first one I ever had, I shipped to Washington State on a car carrier. That was, many years ago. The white one that I had, I sold that locally. The blue one that I had 2 years ago, I had a customer fly in, I believe, I want to say from Ohio, and drove that one back. But these can be shipped or fly in and drive it back. That's entirely up to you. Like I said, I've put 1,200 enjoyable miles on it, so it is ready for the road in that respect. But like I said, it is a yard sale unit that is being sold kind of, you know, with its dings and, you know, imperfections throughout, as I've displayed to you. So anyways, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you on the next one.